Hello, hello. I'm Abhinandan Sekhri, and this is the Awful and Awesome Entertainment Wrap.
This is Abbas Momin.
And I'm Suresh Menon.
And this is episode 238. Jude informs me. And also today is Republic Day. Happy Republic Day, everybody.
Hey, happy Republic Day, everyone.
Happy Republic Day.
And how many of you actually watched the parade?
Oh, I missed it, but I must tell you that I used to be a regular watcher when I was a kid. But nowadays I think it's cold in Mumbai, which is very rare. That prevents you from waking up.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Suresh. We shall talk about this. But before that, I'm sure, most of our viewers and listeners already know who you are. But for those who may need a little refresher's course, Suresh, as you know, is a humorist. He has anchored shows. I remember when I was young, used to anchor a bunch of music shows on television. I've seen you in several movies. But as I'm reading your bio, you have done films. I've only seen you in Hindi films, but you've done films in Marathi, Malayalam, English, and you also acted with Mohanlal. Wow, okay.
Yeah. That's a feather on my cap,
Yes.
So, yeah.
And of course, I mean, it goes on and on. Houseful Partner, Masti, Rawan. You've worked with Pridarshan, Yash Chopra, Rakesh Roshan, David Dhawan, Anubhav Sinha, and on and on. You've also played a role in Midnight Children by Deepa Mehta.
Yeah.
So, dude, you've really done the whole thing. Yeah, you've been around for a long time, Suresh.
That's what I was afraid you'll say next. So that very quietly I was trying to just skip that. Okay, that's over. That's move on. Yeah.
But you were in Crompton Greaves. What that's where you started your career. What were you doing there?
I've been a corporate boy. Actually, like all South Indians, we were expected to study very hard, become first in class, which I didn't manage. Then a lot of my neighbors, they were engineers, they're doctors, they're chartered accountants. So the next best thing that I found that I was good at was to talk to people. So I went into sales. So I joined Crompton as a field sales officer, and I actually sold washing machines. And mostly consumer electronics, food processors. Then Crompton came up with a color television. And I think even today in their books, I am one of the highest number of sales. I think I got in for their color television.
So you've given away your age by saying that you were in sales when the transition is from black and white to color TV. Not even from the cathode ray tube to the flat screen. Not even from plasma, from black and white to color.
Absolutely. Oh damn! I should remember this next time.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we're looking forward to talking to you about cinema, pop culture, and Abbas. Many of you already know Abbas. He has been on Awful and Awesome before, but Abbas is a stand-up comic. How's business these days, Abbas?
It's gone down again. There was a brief window of time where it looked like things are getting better, but thanks to Mr. Omicron or Miss Omicron, I don't know what to say, things have gone down again. So yeah, shows are happening few and far in between. And I myself am recovering from Omicron. So I was at home.
When was that? When did you get?
Early January. So 5th of January is when I tested positive, and 20th of Jan is when I tested negative. So it was a 15-day period where I wasn't doing anything. By anything, I mean live shows.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's gotten into that limbo again where some people have started doing shows on Zoom again. So yeah, waiting for things to go back to some semblance of normalcy so that we can start doing live shows again.
Chalo,
Abbas, sorry,
Yeah.
Abhinandan, no, I just realized in my film career, I never got to become a hero because of the Khans. Now, even bloody COVID and all, it's called Omicron, Salman Cron, That's the way it seems to be moving now.
So what are you working on, Suresh? Is there any movie happening? I mean, you've been a part of many blockbuster in the last, 5-7 years. Is shooting resuming in Bombay? What are you busy with?
So I just took another leap. I just jumped into a corporate life all over again, and I joined MX Players' new vertical called MX Studios as a content and creative head. So from December, I've been, like I told Jude also, I've been doing corporate meetings, online meetings. It's work from home, and I realized what a pain in the wrong places it is. So.
So are you commissioning shows and all? Do we pitch to you if you want to make a show?
So no, thankfully I'm only focusing on brands and brand work, and I'm out in the market telling brands that, hey, listen, I'm a a decently talented enough guy, and if you have got some concepts that you all want me to work on, some briefs that you all want to give me, I'm very good at creating these lovely webisodes for you all, and I'll make it a super hit sort of mini series for you all. And there I'm there in the market now, talking to agencies, talking to clients, and trying to get business.
Oh, excellent. So this is a fantastic episode where we have, person who is the creative head of MX Play. So he can tell us what's making waves and why and how they decide on, the direction channels take. But just want to tell our viewers a couple of announcements. One, Rajshri isn't here today. Unfortunately, her dog died last night and she's very attached to her dog. So she was in a frame of mind of wanting to do this show today. So I will discuss Macbeth next week when she's back, because I want to discuss it with her, because there is an article on the BBC which talks about Lady Macbeth being the most misrepresented of Shakespeare's villains in several films and adaptations. This is Roman Polanski's Macbeth, and now this new one which is on Apple TV. We shall discuss that. So today it will be all about Suresh and Abbas and what they want to discuss. And I'll just get to that. A couple of announcements related to some of our projects that are out there. You may see on newslaundry.com, we have a documentary. It's on arsenic poisoning. It's on YouTube. It's on our website. It's the health hazards that are connected to arsenic in the water. It's made by Hridesh Joshi and it has been supported by Thakur Foundation. You should check it out. It has been a really well-received project of ours. It was edited by Satish, who is our video editor. You must check it out. And also the election season is on 5 states. And we have the following who are traveling. The correspondents, Akanksha and Shivangi, are going to Eastern UP. Ayush and Ashwini will be in Punjab. Basant will be covering Western UP. Nidhi, Prateek, and our producer Aditya will be in Goa. Manisha, Meghnad, and Atul, with 2 producers that are Lipi and Parikshit, will be in Goa and in UP and Punjab and Uttarakhand. And we also have Hridesh Joshi, who will be covering Uttarakhand and UP. And we have a very senior editor who will be covering Manipur for us. So this is funded entirely by you. We don't take any ad money. As you know, News Laundry is a completely ad-free platform. And as I'm recording this, we are at about 10.5 lakhs. The project will cost us about 23 lakhs. I hope you guys will top it up by next week. 2 of our teams have already left. Manisha, Atul, Meghnad, and their producers are in Goa. So if you're in any of the big cities or towns, and can support us, not just with, of course, a subscription and Enel Sena that you do. If you have an office there, many of you have offered your homes and your vehicles for our crew to use. But if you have an office where, because, big cities, when they're covering something like in Goa, something is in Panjim, another thing is elsewhere. If you have an office which has broadband, they can just upload their stories. Mail me at abhinandansekhri@gmail.com. I repeat, abhinandansekhri@gmail.com. We have a database of what we call Friends of News Laundry. And these Friends of News Laundry offer us resources and help other than the money and the subscriptions that they do when our teams are on the ground reporting. It could be anything from just a room with broadband and pani for them to rest between stories and rallies, because when you're covering elections, it is extremely stressful. And News Laundry is built completely by, a tribe of people who believe in independent journalism. So I hope you will contribute to that. So go to newslaundry.com, click on the Sena, top up the Sena, and write to me if you have any, resources you can offer in any of the cities or states that correspondents will be in. Also, we are celebrating our 10th anniversary next month. By the way, you guys are going to be 10 years old. 10 years of ad-free news, believe it or not. And we were planning some physical events which we have had to cancel because of COVID. So I had this idea of auctioning some NFTs, the first article, and we have commissioned 2 cartoon artworks, one by Manjul. You all know Manjul, one of the finest cartoonists in the country. Artists, I must say, and Anish, our very own Anish, who created all those artworks of News Laundry with Birbal and Birubala that you've seen. So there are these 2 really nice, special, one of collector's item artworks being made. Now, I thought we should auction them to raise funds for News Laundry and for the artists, but also auction as an NFT. Many people have discouraged us that this is you shouldn't get into that zone. So I'm just planning a call with many of our subscribers to get their feedback and views. So if you have any views on feedback and expertise on the subject of NFTs in auctions or in the tech space or in the finance space, mail me at abhinandansekhri@gmail.com. So once again, friends of News Laundry, you can mail me or subscription@newslaundry.com. I repeat, subscription@newslaundry.com. If you can provide any resources to our reporters and producers who are traveling all across the country in the 5 states for the election. Sorry, guys, that was a very long announcement. Abbas, Suresh, now we're back. So Abbas, why don't you set the agenda? What are we discussing today? All yours. What do you think we can talk about? And then Suresh can tell us what he would like to tell us in the entertainment space that he finds interesting and worth noting.
Okay, so I saw the Telugu film Shyam Singha Roy on Netflix. We can discuss that. I also happened to watch the 20-year Harry Potter reunion, which was aired on Amazon Prime on the 1st of January. And we can, if you want, we can talk a little bit about the anthology series Unpaused, which also came on Amazon Prime, which is essentially 5 short films which revolve around the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic that happened, which I thought some of those stories were really well done. So yeah, those are the 3 things that I have caught up on in the last couple of days.
Now, Suresh, I know we have you for a limited time, but I would like to, before asking you what you find extremely noteworthy in the entertainment space and the trend that, that we may be in the middle of, you are an excellent mimic. I know because I've seen. And do you get sick of it when people ask you to mimic stuff? Do you say, shut up?
No, not at all. I think I always believe that whatever talent we have, and if we can use it to entertain people, don't feel shy about it. So I'm very happy, and I'm, sort of sometimes I'm proud also that I do get some voices really like Saif Ali Khan. It's always been my favorite. If I speak like him, I do know I sound like him. So that gives me some great confidence to, have a conversation. So I always used to have these weird theories, and
that was spot on. Yeah, Rajshri missed that. So give me a 4-line uninterrupted Saif Ali Khan dialogue. Yeah.
So, Abhinandan, today the world is all about content, and we are talking about content in the industry. It's booming. People are trying to make a lot of things. Of course, unfortunately, I get to do only a few of these because they tell me that I'm very expensive. My per day charges are very high. But Akshay Kumar is richer than me, dude. I'm not a very rich guy. So,
so which are the ones that you find easy, and which are the really difficult ones for you?
See, the thing is, very strangely today, Abbas will agree with me. Like initially, when I sort of performed with Veerdas, Tanmay, so I was actually pointed out like, hey, this guy's a mimicry artist, So it became a separation from stand-up and mimicry, but it's always flown and gone hand in hand. So the most difficult ones are the new age actors. Like I can't imitate Tiger Shroff in the sense, because that voice is not there. So today's heroes don't have that quality about their voices, but there are such a lot of talent. I heard one guy imitate Nawazuddin Siddiqui, which is a very difficult voice.
Right. Yeah.
And he had got it spot on. In fact, he's my close friend Sanket Bhosle. And he get these some people get all the stars ka voice, superstars ka voice correct like me, and others get these character artist voice so spot on that it's a lot of fun to hear that kind of talent coming out. So it's like there was a controversy in between when Mr. Bachchan has said, and Mr. Rajnikant also said, if anybody trying to imitate us, we will charge them money.
IP, correct.
Yeah, IP and all this stuff. So I said, this is ridiculous. So you're in the public place. And I said, I don't mind if they want me to stop imitating. And that time I was doing a show where I was doing imitating Amitabh Bachchan and Rajnikant. And so I said, as long as, they understand this is a God's gift.
I'm not sure that's defendable in court. I mean, you can't stop people from mimicking you as long as you're not pretending to be them. It's only copyright if you pretend to be them. You're not Amitabh,
but I sign checks,
So it's So I don't even. I mean, I don't see how they can win that case.
So I think I put an end to the controversy over there by saying that I humbly request both these legends in the industry to pay me some 10 crores each, and I'll stop doing that because this will only source of bread and butter, and if they're stopping me from my livelihood, then they compensate me in some ways. I think after that the controversy died its natural death because I think everyone took up.
So can you? Do you still do their voices or not?
Amitabh Bachchan's voice I've always been doing. Like I said, it's not spot on, but it's
Right.
an imitation. Is like
Yeah, but you, yeah,
yeah,
as a performer, I've seen you do
yeah.
a
I used to
bunch
get
of
into
those.
his get up, and I know the best part is getting into Amitabh Bachchan's wig and that white beard meant that I felt like Mr. Bachchan for some time. And believe me, even I used to walk around with a strut in the, though I'm not as tall as him, but I used to feel very tall.
I think the yeah. Go ahead, Abbas.
By the way, I'm just saying that today is Republic Day, and Mr. Bachchan has put up an Instagram post where I don't know from what year it is, but he's dyed his fridge beard into saffron, white, and
Oh,
green.
tricolor.
So please go to his account and
I
check
I
it out.
have to, due respect, I will like that also.
Chalo, it's good you flagged that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think, but
हमारे
tell me,
पास और कोई option भी नहीं है.
but tell me, the most spot on Amitabh Bachchan impersonation or takeoff or whatever mimicry I've seen is Sunil Grover in
Yeah.
this KBC thing he did with Shah Rukh and Salman and Rani Mukherjee.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, the way he danced, he
Oh
was,
yeah.
I mean, that was like, it was like Amitabh Bachchan there, yeah. Like even the slight movements of the eye, the lips,
Oh yeah, yeah.
tucking in his scarf, that was outstanding.
Sunil. In fact, I felt disappointed that he was not there in '83. Maybe it would have done better because he once for a show he had become Kapil Dev also, and he got it so spot on. It was like amazing watching him. Now Kapil Paji's voice is not a very easy voice, though he can make fun of his English and all that stuff. But there's a rhythm to his voice when he speaks. I know he had gotten that rhythm so perfect that when I was there on the sets, I was fortunate. And as usual, I was playing Sachin Tendulkar over there. So it was
That is, you've got typecast. You're always playing
yeah.
Sachin
See,
Tendulkar.
that's why I wear this curly wig also. So it's good for me, and I feel very nervous.
Yeah, Sunil Grover has been amazing because you're right about Kapil Dev. He's like Yoda. His syntax of the sentence is all over the place, but
Yeah.
only he can get it. Like he'll
Yeah.
abandon a sentence wherever he feels like it.
Yeah. So
Kapil Dev does that, and you can't. I mean, it's very difficult to get that.
yeah, it's like he's giving clues when he's speaking to you, and you have to just join the dots.
Decipher it. Yes.
Yeah.
Republic Day it is today.
Yes, it
Father.
is.
Fine.
It
So
is.
he just. So tell me, in the online space now, Suresh, just give us a bit in the whole pop culture space, in the streaming, digital entertainment space. What are the either films or series that you have found, outstanding, that have really pushed the envelope and taken the kind of entertainment that we're used to the next level in the last few years, ever since digital has become a thing?
I've seen this trend of extremely good content coming down from South. And the only difference today is that they've always been producing, majorly, been producing a lot of good content. But of late, what I'm enjoying is that everyone, the whole country is enjoying the content because of thanks to OTT players and the subtitling and also the dubbing in other languages, which was there before. But OTT has suddenly taken them to a different level completely, including like earlier there was this whole feeling of Malayalam film industry TV series and all are produced at a very low cost and but I found that it's low cost, yes, but not that low also. They work hard. So I the film that I did with Mohanlal, I remember sleeping only 4 hours in those 47 days that I shot with him. That whole film of my work was for 47 days, and they really work very hard. So when you come on the set, the faffing is reduced, everything is reduced. So they just work. I don't know, but like they're complete workaholics. So that sort of set the trend for them to be quick in what they're doing, be spot on in what they're doing, and also it helped me because as an actor, I found myself being in that character for 47 days. So the acting skills greatly get enhanced by all these sort of little tools. So that's why it explains a lot of things that come from there are so nicely done, beautifully narrated, and so that's taken them to someplace else.
So you think Malayalam cinema and just Malayalam has been the outlier since
They
Disney
they
came
have
about?
they have definitely taken most of the benefit in all these languages that films are being made, but Hindi also has caught up from the hinterland, the stories that are coming up,
For sure,
and
yeah.
oh man,
That
so
Patal Lok type of stuff. But
oh
Abbas, jump in whenever you want, huh? Otherwise, you
yeah,
won't
please
get a word
Abbas,
in.
yeah, I'm a
You're very
chatterbox.
quiet, but Suresh, I mean, you may not be able to answer this question because you do work in the entertainment industry and you have to take non-committal positions. Uh, but tell me, on the, and this is something I've noticed. I'm half Tamil, by the way. My mother is from Tirunelveli.
Wow.
The Malayalam cinema and even the series, etc., are of a level of authenticity, which are, I think, that's here in the rest of the industries like Hindi, Tamil, etc. But the Tamil stuff like Rajamouli's, that film, like everything is so, like the 80s cinema, ding, ding, woo, there is no authenticity. It is very tacky, Tamil cinema, as opposed to Malayalam cinema, which has a certain sophistication. Why is that? Do you think that is there? Or have
Um,
I just seen the wrong films?
No, you're right because Tamil films now they also got this parallel cinema happening simultaneously. Thankfully, thanks again to OTT players like Vijay Sethupathi set the ball rolling with a very different film that they made, Super Deluxe, where he
Hmm.
played a guy who went to a city. He came actually he's supposed to have traveled to Mumbai, and he came goes back to his village after having an operation. So he become a transgender, and that was so beautifully narrated. It was like I was like really pleasantly surprised to see that sort of content coming out of Tamil also. Yes, you need your heroes doing that high speed. You need them in Hindi. You need them in Malayalam also, where you need a Pushpa, doing all this and all that flair, high speed shots, because 70% of the Indian audiences want to forget their woes for a little bit and see somebody beating the shit out of a really wealthy guy. You know,
Uh,
so
Abhinandan, I don't know if you've discussed Minnal Murli on News Laundry. That's a superhero film that I saw, a Malayalam superhero film, and again, even in that film, the general superhero fighting and punching stuff happens only in the last like 15
yeah,
20 minutes. The
yeah,
build up to that, the origin story, and the beautiful thing about Minnal Murli is that the villain does not want to destroy the world. It's a very personal story that does not go out of the village that they have set the movie in. So even when they're doing like a superhero film, right, without huge special effects, without a massive budget, it is still such a well done film that I got all the joy of watching a superhero film and the added pleasure of seeing it being done in a small village in Kerala.
yeah.
So yeah, there is something very special about the way the Malayalam film industry has emerged. And पहले क्या होता था, लाइक हम लोग वो पैरोडी भी अगर देखते थे, एवरीबडी व्हेन दे यूज्ड टू पैरोडी रजनीकांत, दे जस्ट पैरोडीड इन द सेंस के ऑल साउथ इंडियन फिल्म्स आर लाइक दिस.
Yeah.
And like Suresh mentioned, because of OTT now we switch on a Malayalam film or even a Tamil film which is a little offbeat, we see kya nahi, this is like genuinely well done, it is authentic, it has a very great story to tell.
There is
So
a
I think,
there is a technical excellence that you see in all Malayalam films, no matter whether
of
you like the
course,
aesthetic or not. The technical excellence is there in every film of theirs that I've seen
yeah,
over the last
yeah.
few years.
Most of the Malayali cinematographers are doing very well in all languages, and that's the best part. Even Karan works with a lot of Mallu cinematographers for his films. Also what I realized, the trick is because Mallu cinematographers nowadays they hate to waste time. So if it's a 9 o'clock shift, 9 o'clock he's taking his first shot. He doesn't like people coming walking at 9 and then chai, coffee, one or two cigarettes, and then how's life, and bitch about few other actors, and then start go to the floor at 10. That doesn't happen with them. If 9 o'clock shift means 9 o'clock, they start shooting. So that
Right.
discipline, if you can get in, which is now there, Hindi films have definitely become more professional. But of course, here also, abhi bhi thoda bhai chi Akshay Kumar jumping around. You need that ho jata, bro. Don't worry, we are there. Our audiences still love us, man. So we have to do these. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a brief experience in Bombay as an AD in 2000. So yeah, I did see that
Oh
waiting
God.
was waiting. I mean, the concept of bound script. There was something called a bound script. Is it a bound script? As in that day, those days, it wasn't normal for you to even have a full screenplay with dialogue written. So There was a term called bound script. This film is
Yeah.
being made on the bound script,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to that. Just
Things have changed and how, but so nowadays it become more professional and everything. Everyone knows what they're doing. So even Hindi is caught up. That's why I'm a huge Family Man fan. Manoj and Sharib, like I think they really killed it. I'm really looking forward that they should never stop making that series because it's so wonderfully entertaining, and also it's a thriller drama series. So I really enjoy. So see how much of I'm so happy for Sharib. I know him from a long time. He was a writer himself, and one day he had come up to me and said, "I want to be an actor." I said, "Sharib, it's so difficult." And he said, "No, I want to be an actor," and he followed his passion so well, and looking at him now, I'm like so happy that he
But
did
when
what
you
he
say
felt like.
it's difficult, you're saying that it's a very long struggle. There's long periods of just not having anything to do. Like
Oh yeah.
it's an emotionally difficult journey.
Oh yes, like still remember, I was fortunate to have worked with Manoj when he initially came to Mumbai. So all of us were those strugglers. So I was from Mumbai, and there was one discussion happening that time saying that, "Arey, you guys are lucky, you all got a house in Bombay.
Hmm.
We have to live on rented places. Saurabh Shukla, Manoj Bajpayee, all these guys, how they have struggled." So I told them, I agree to your pain also, but my pain is coming back home and then looking at parents and saying that I've been unsuccessful today also. And this is after I from Crompton I jumped to Times of India, and for a South Indian, Times of India mein naukri bole to baap re, it's like huge. So having left that job and I come here, aaj bhi kuch nahi mila. They used to say, "Why the hell are you doing all this?" Could have simply continued. The aim to be retire at a very pleasant age of 60 and have your pension. Why are you struggling like this on the roads and all this stuff, calling up strange people every day? But that was a struggle. So I saw both the sides of people who came from out of Mumbai and they were struggling here, and people within the city also struggling. But yeah, you need a push, you need somebody. All those stories are true, but the ones who really worked out, I remember Manoj Vajpayee walking out of a show which even I was a part of, and I asked him, "Manoj bhai, we were just yesterday we were talking कि पैसे नहीं, अब क्या करें?" तो बोलते, "नहीं सुरेश, मैं भांडगिरी करने नहीं आया हूँ."
Why did he walk out of the show? I mean, I'm sure you can't tell us
Because
the name, etc. But what was the problem?
so he felt that what he was doing was not doing justice to him as an actor. For example, in that show, I played a slipper. I had to
Sorry,
improvise. I played a chappal. I
I
had
don't
to,
understand. What do you
yeah,
mean you played the
exactly.
chap?
I'm getting a sense of why he walked out of this.
Yeah. So it
So
was
as it you had a cutout of a slipper around you, and
no. So I had to imagine I'm a slipper, and I had to talk like a slipper would. So imagine your slipper is talking back to you, and I had to do that. So for me, it was
I guess this is an Indian version of Whose Line Is It Anyway or something. Anyway, okay, so then
almost there. It was a version of Cluedo. It was called Maybe Detective, that show.
I see. So
And
so he couldn't handle
he said, "This is not what I want to do." I said, "But ultimately, first is security and money." He said, "No,
paisa tha.
I'm an actor. I want to act. I want to mouth those lines. I want to speak Urdu. I want to speak Hindi." You know, and he told me, "This is your zone. I'm sure you'll do so well. I'm so happy for you." And within 1 year of that show flopping very badly, he went on to do Swabhiman on
Mm.
DD. That became a hit, and
Yeah,
subsequently I
that
got
got
to do
me.
something like acting skills in show off my acting skills in this series called Shanti, which was one of the earlier
Yes.
daily soaps.
Yes, yes,
It
yes.
got 40 episodes thanks to Adi Pocha, and suddenly you are working with names that they were legends from the ad film world and all that stuff. So there is quite a happy
In fact, this
journey.
whole Mandi House gang of Gajraj, of Piyush, because I've known them when I was in school here, because they were in theater. My sister was in theater in Delhi, so
Yeah.
I knew them here. Gajraj and Piyush, I had met several times, and I know Manoj and Ashish were also the same gang. But I know that some of them have remained very true to their. I mean, I've heard them talk about revolution and Piyush's film play on Bhagat Singh, and I've heard them in their youth with all those revolutionary speeches, and I've heard them now,
Yeah.
and I must say, it's quite a journey in contrasts. And I don't say this with any sadness or disappointment. I think circumstances make us into the people we are, and there are certain things you feel when you're young, and there's certain majburiyan hoti hain as you grow older, but one can't So I think that's one thing, that as you grow old, you realize you should not be so judgy about people, because
Yeah.
circumstances change, perspectives change, and you should give them that.
Absolutely, I can't agree more with you, Abhinandan. I've seen that whole, uh, things moving around. Like, I think I'm one of the few actors who's been fortunate enough to be in television, be in radio, be in films, and then also I jumped on the internet bandwagon when it started way back in 2011. So I do understand what you're saying. Sometimes it's better to bring things down and aage bado, because ultimately during COVID, it taught us a great lesson ki without money is coming regularly in the house, it can be quite tough. So whatever
Yeah.
opinions you have doesn't count.
Good.
Abhinandan, I just wanted to say that in the show notes, you need to put links to Swabhiman and Shanti, because the listeners under 30 will probably not know what these things are.
Yes. So our
No,
wonderful producers, Tehreem and Jude, in the show notes, please put links to Swabhiman and Shanti, and maybe some YouTube clips also with that.
or
Yes.
maybe encourage them to please ask your parents so they can have some conversation with their parents. That
Yeah.
isi bahane.
इसी बहाने या बातचीत से पता करें, and not through
Yeah,
Google. Good
I
point.
think parents and children are also WhatsApping each other nowadays.
Yeah. But thanks so much, Suresh, for coming. It's been a pleasure talking to you, man. And I've always
Suresh,
really...
I had one request.
Yeah.
So everybody talks about Kamla Ka Hamla when you talk about characters that you did, right? And sure enough, it is an iconic character. But my favorite was a character you used to do called Angry Ganeshan.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Which was this guy who used to start off and used to get angrier and angrier as he spoke. So, Suresh, if I may request before you leave, today's Republic Day, how would Angry Ganeshan react to the 75th Republic Day of our nation?
Oh God.
I think it's
must-
73rd.
Oh, I'm sorry, 73rd. Do not
1950.
cancel me.
Yeah, 1951. Right. So the thing is, Angry Ganeshan, whenever I finished recording, I used to actually burn energies, and I used to feel so tired. So Jose made sure I recorded only 6, only 6, or kariya to mar jayega. That was a joke. So I'll try. Let me just try. God, let me free my neck. A little bit of water has to go in. I'm not done.
This is method acting, guys.
No, this is like making sure there's nothing stopping a throat from giving up in between. The age factor kicks in round, right?
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Angry Ganeshan. Today we are here to discuss Republic Day of India. Firstly, I want to say a lot of youngsters are confused between Independence Day and Republic Day. What is wrong with you people? Do you know the Constitution of India, or you're just bothered about yourselves and your, this WhatsApp and other things? Where are you talking? What are you doing? What are you watching? You rascals, you're coming here and not understanding what you're doing. Simply, you all want to be on the WhatsApp and watch OTT platforms and nothing else you're doing. Rascals, go and study.
You know, this reminds me of GD Bakshi, man. He started from the beginning of a debate to the end. But yeah,
I should use probably this avatar of mine to go on discussions on Arnab's channel. because
exactly. You'll fit right in, man. And
Yeah,
they
I
won't
just- no,
they
I
won't
mean,
even to tell if it's satire or not.
Yeah. By the way, I've been on
अभी
a show-
अभी हमको सुरेश का नॉर्मल रजिस्टर सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है आफ्टर दैट एक्सटेंसिव
Oh, see, I still, oh, my laptop set up professional audio settings.
It
It's
must
given
have
up
gone down, na? Automatically
yeah.
adjust कर दिया होगा नीचे.
So the other voice which I really loved doing was Arnab Goswami. And I still do believe, sir, that I'm one of the best Arnab Goswami's imitator right now. So I was doing it continuously, and I had done one for my YouTube channel where Arnab Goswami was having a panel discussion with dogs. And everybody on that panel, they were barking away, and I was saying that
accurate enough.
I didn't know it will come to that later, but that time it was just
This
an
is before it
imagine.
had reached that stage.
Yeah. So that time it was just an imagination of dogs having issues with, they're running behind cars. If you see the night and Arnab is trying to blame, why are you running after the car, sir? And the dog is barking and rah, 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 rah. Oh, he's trying to say that every car in Bandra have got good tires. That's why, so it was a bizarre discussion. But he was sporting enough to have called me on his show. Not only when he was with Times of India, but also with Republic when he took over. And yeah, so he laughed at himself.
Yeah, I think
आजकल
there
नहीं
was
बुला
a,
रहा है, ठीक है.
I think there was a time when many of them could. Now it's becoming harder and harder. I think, yeah, times have
Yeah,
changed dramatically.
yeah.
But any other questions, Abbas, before we say goodbye to Suresh?
No, actually, he actually kind of covered it. मेरे को यही पूछना था, Suresh, you've been on radio, you've been on TV, you've done films. You also now you did a podcast with Jose called Kaan Masti. Now you do live streams. So which is the one medium that you find truly liberating, or do you think all of them have their own little USPs?
All of them definitely have their own charm, but I'm finding this live streaming so nice. I'm finding the podcast that we started off so wonderful that I feel it's a great way to reach out to people. Like really, the co streams. If you go and listen to what is being discussed, I love the fact that we are having conversations with people.
Mm.
We are not trying to act out a character or something. We are generally having a conversation, and that's pretty exciting for me, because ultimately when you even when you're facing the camera, the best way to act, like Priyadarshan always used to say, don't act. You just say your lines and get out. Don't try and create some histrionics. For me, doesn't work for me. So I was like, wow. So you need to just talk. So what we managed to do is have this cult following of people who really just like to listen to us talk. Some of them talk because, and the most heartwarming things that came on during those live shows, what a lot of people said, you all made our life easy during lockdown. I don't know
Mm.
how, but they said that, and they were giving lots of love to us, and I think that's so nice and so important. So I love this medium because we're reaching out right to the audiences, and I just love this live streaming that happens, and
I
I love
completely,
podcasts.
I think the internet has radically transformed the relationship of the performer,
Yeah,
and the audience in a way which is radically changing revenue models just like ours. We've been ad free for 10 years now, and
yeah.
that's only because the internet, you can communicate, and also we don't need another middleman to get the revenue. It's just, if they like what we do, they just pay us
Yeah,
directly. So
that's
yeah.
what they're doing. Exactly. Wow, man. That's, yeah.
So thanks, Suresh.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
I'm sure the performance industry will miss a performer like you, but good for the corporate types.
Yeah.
Don't suffocate yourself in your tie and your suit.
No, I won't. I'll be different bosses daily. That's all I promised them. So
Oh, damn, that'd be
yeah,
fun working with you.
yeah,
Today, Suresh will come as who you think.
yeah. And then, can I see the numbers today? Please. What's happening with the revenues? Please go get it.
All right, sounds
Wow.
good, man. Take care.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Thank you so much.
And
Pleasure meeting
thanks
you,
for
Abbas. Pleasure meeting you,
Thank you
Abhinandan.
so
And
much.
really wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Suresh.
Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. See you. Bye.
Bye. The subscription model is something that keeps News Laundry afloat, but we need hundreds of thousands of people to completely transform the news ecosystem. So you pay for news, so it serves you. So click on the link with this video, subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free, और गर्व से कहो, मेरे खर्च पर आज़ाद है खबरें.